What is up, good people? Jungle Inc. here, hope you're doing well. Today, the SEC, they filed their final reply, trying to support their position that they should be able to jump straight to appeals before they finish up this current court case. I'm going to flip-flop a little bit here. I'm going to tell you, I think they're going to win this, and I think it's a good thing. So we're going to get into that. Before we do, I just want to briefly touch on some of the conflict we're continuing to see between XRP developers and Ripple. And if you remember, I did some videos, I don't know, about 6 months ago or so, where I said this was coming. This was going to be an issue because, Ripple's funding some of these projects, maybe friends of executives of Ripple, and there's not enough money going to developers, independent developers, and they build really important infrastructure. And so I thought this was going to happen, and we're starting to see that. This fracturing that really pits each side against each other. And you're going to see people taking shots at hooks, saying, it's not ready, it's going to be too big of a load on the main net, and the other side going after AMMs and all of this. What I would say is take a step back and think, how does this affect me as an XRP investor? And I think what happens is you're going to have, these groups that are incentivized to show they're doing it the right way, that their vision is the best, and they're incentivized to go out there and build and code and work hard. And the end result is we're going to get AMMs, I believe, on the main net. There's going to be some squabbling before they push it through, but they will. And we're going to get the side chain where we can simultaneously roll out hooks and use it in a live environment. And there's going to be other side chains. Some will make it, some will not. But it's going to be this environment of building. And I think it's really going to push the process forward. And the things that stick, they're going to roll over. But it's more people building under the XRP framework. And I think that's going to be a win for everyone. Outside of that, for our purposes, don't think it's a major deal. Now let's talk about this. Why am I flip-flopping? So we see the SEC. They're saying, look, we need to go straight to appeals. And my first instinct is like, the hell with you. You don't get to jump straight to appeals. You drug your feet. When we needed a conclusion here, when we needed a resolution, while we were trying to gain some traction during the bull run, you just slogged us through the mud. At every turn, the SEC delayed to the max. They used time as a weapon to punish Ripple and to punish investors. And so my initial instinct is, too bad. You should have worked a little quicker. Now, you're under the gun here. You have to try to get to appeals because you have all this stuff going on. You should have thought about that. That's my first instinct. But let's take a look at what the SEC said. They said, well, at least two opinions at the district court level contradict the conclusions of this case. So there are other decisions like Library, which I think was a very poor decision, but it's contradictory to this, isn't it? They go on to say that in these cases, they considered similar offerings and sales, and they came up with a very different conclusion. They go on to state this is an unusual case where the defendants themselves say that the issues have industry-wide significance of special consequence. And so this is a deal. We look right now, what's going on out there? Well, we have Coinbase, we have Binance, we have a bunch of other coins that have been called illegal securities. We look at the decision here, which I think is the lawful one, that says under law, these are just pure commodities trading on the open market. And essentially, no matter who's selling, Ripple, you, me, doesn't matter, the SEC has no authority over those transactions. Powerful, powerful summary judgment. I think that this is an especially important case that has massive impact on everything. And for that reason, the judge may want to kick it up a level and certify that. Set that precedent. It might be important enough to allow them this special circumstance. And not just because we got the result we were looking for. I think Judge Torres is a darn good judge. And we've heard her record. There haven't been any cases that have been overturned. Her reasoning was logical. Anyone could follow it, even if you're not an attorney. It made a lot of sense. If anything, I think Ripple may win even a little more. I think some of those transactions they had, those $740 million worth of XRP sales that were deemed securities offerings, I think they may get some of those back. And at the end of that process, well, we're in a better spot because I fully expect the appeals court to certify that decision if they don't make it even better for Ripple. Now, there's always risks here. You don't know what judge you're going to draw. Maybe you get like a library-style judge that just rubber stamps everything the SEC wants. You don't know. These are the risks. But we're going to have to get there eventually. And since we cannot rely on lawmakers, Congress, to do their job, let's get the courts to do it. Let's get the courts to say, under these inadequate laws we have today, how do you treat the sales of XRP? I think we're going to get equally, if not a better result. Now, I have to warn you, all the legal experts, and that's who we really have to lean on, right? Like, they know what they're talking about. They say it's not likely that the SEC doesn't have special circumstances here to go ahead and jump straight to appeals. So, I defer to their knowledge, of course. But, the stuff they brought up where, Ripple just wants to prolong things so they can sell XRP. What's wrong with that? There's the sale, and according to Judge Torres, it's perfectly legal. To me, a lot of their arguments here are not, a good reason to jump straight to appeals, but possibly the weight of this case, the importance of this case, not only to the SEC and to Ripple, but the whole crypto industry. That's just why I feel maybe this is granted. We'll see it play out. Again, this will still take a long time. XRP will continue to trade even during appeal. We're in the position of power. And, if someone's going to be, first through the door on appeals, I'd rather it be Ripple than Library, right? Or somebody else. I want it to be us because they have a great legal team. We already got one win. Let's certify that sucker. But either way, I think it works well for us, the XRP investor, because we're on the winning side. And that is a great place to be. Let me know what you think down below. And as always, please like, please subscribe. The revolution will be televised right here on Jungle Link.